Hello, everyone. This is Stephen Richardson. Today, we're going to be talking about the stock comparison guide for the stocks that we studied in the semiconductor materials and equipment industry. Stock comparison guide is the perfect tool to help investors select the best stock investments. The guide uses your SSGs from Core or Plus SSG and presents company information in a table to help you choose the best company in an industry or the best company on your watch list. This video reviews how to efficiently navigate and operate the online stock comparison guide to help you compare your stocks and choose the best investment. In addition, this tutorial highlights the powerful features of both the Core and Plus versions of stock comparison guide. It's suitable for beginners or advanced investors. And this is this is not financial advice. This is education purposes. So please do your own research. I'm teaching you how to do that research. Okay, this is an overview. I know it looks small. I know that. We're going to break it apart, but this is an overview of the stock comparison guide. I've added the three stocks that we looked at previously, and you can see it matches them up against the industry here. And we're going to look at each of these sections individually. So let's move on. So the first one is the growth comparisons. So we're looking at the three companies, ASML, Applied Materials, and Lam Research against the industry, the semiconductor equipment and materials industry. And you can see there's some green here. The green is a favorable notation. It doesn't mean it's higher than the industry average or anything like that. It means it's favorable for the stock. It's you this is used, but the growth screen is used by the National Association of Investors Corporations, NAIC. Philosophy is selecting reasonably priced stocks of good quality, companies that merit further investigation. The NAIC adopts a simple buy and hold fundamental approach to growth investing. The good quality growth companies come from those companies whose historical track records indicate the capability of doubling an investment in 5 years, a compounded annual growth of 15%. So at first glance, ASML has most of the green positive highlighting. They have seven, and the other ones have one each. ASML growth rates are very aggressive, even at 15% sales and 20% EPS. And I went back for ASML and I looked at the preferred procedure for ASML, and it went up to 20% after reviewing the value line, the annual report. So I was really aggressive in my estimates. I probably should have been more conservative, and you should be the same with all the stocks. And I'm just being honest there. Okay, Lam Research edges out the competitors in the 10-year earnings stability, R squared. AMAT edges out competitors in the 5-year R squared. All three beat the industry standard for the R squared. So let's take a look at this. All right, management comparisons. Let me see. This is understanding how the management did the pre-tax profit, the return on equity, and their debt to capital. These are management decisions. So all three beat the industry averages for pre-tax profit. ASML is better than its competitors. Um, all three beat the industry average for return on investment. Lam Research is better than its competitors. And two are above the industry average for debt to capital. ASML is clearly below 30%. AMAT is questionable. And I want to make a note that you can click into these to turn them green. What you're seeing on this stock comparison is what the computer did in choosing the greens. But you can go in and if two are above the average, you can industry average, you can click those two and they turn green. You can set these criteria for yourself. Okay, let's look at the next one. The valuation comparisons. Relative value, way down at the bottom, is a method of determining an asset. I had to look this up. An asset's worth that takes into account the value of similar assets. In this case, it's um, the current price earnings ratio divided by the 5-year average price earnings ratio. Investors must always choose among the investments that are actually available at the given time. We want the best company at the best value, and that'll change. That's why I said this is February 2024. And relative valuation helps them to do that. By 2019, it was easy to look back at the prices of most US stocks in 2009 and realize that they're undervalued. However, that does not help one to choose better investments today. As a rule of thumb, buy a stock whose relative value is less than 110%. So I was kind of focusing on that because we're talking about PEs here. Um, and all three are overvalued for the current stock price. ASML barely overvalued. Only ASML is in the buy zone. ASML has the best upside downside ratio. And the relative value, none of these are below 110%, but ASML is pretty close. All right, let's go on to potential returns here. So um, this is where now it's time for you to make your decision. The yield for a stock is the ratio of the annual dividends paid per share of stock dividend by the current price of the stock, usually expressed as a percentage. This percentage is added to your percentage price gains for the stock to form your total return. Investors looking for income producing investments may choose stocks with higher yields. The percent payout is a percentage of earnings that the company pays to shareholders as dividends. So I've kind of let you see how they match up towards each other. And like I said, I did do a very aggressive ASML on their forecasted. Well, it's for the I was aggressive on the projected sales and the EPS. I think I think I was in line with the price earnings. Um, so we're looking at percent payout and yield. Uh, this at this point, Lamb Research has the best yield projected and historically. Um, but Lamb Research only had one, and whereas ASML had seven. So Lamb Research might go on your watch list, and ASML maybe all of these. I mean, this is the first time that I've looked at an industry where the all three companies that I looked at made the grade, the quality, to where I moved on to judgment. Usually, there's a bunch of stinkers, as far as quality goes, and only a couple ones that are worthy of moving on. This is kind of strange. And remember that the semiconductor industry is very similar to semiconductor equipment and materials, and we're going to be doing a study of that industry next, and then we'll compare them side by side at the end of that study. So again, if you liked what you saw, click subscribe so you can get updates on the education and the industry reviews that I'm doing and look at stocks that I'm doing. I have a couple of the channels you can see right there on the screen. If you want to go to those channels, a law student, send them over to Law School Essentials, and I have a website, lawschool-essentials.com. That'll help them prepare for their bar exams and their regular law school exams. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next one.